but I know where he's gonna go. He's gonna go right down to Jacksonville. He might get a couple DUIs on the way down, but he's gonna go right down to Jacksonville, and he's gonna go to AEW with Matt Hardy, and then they're gonna do the Hardys versus the Young Bucks again, and fucking because and it's funny. It's funny because I know that's what's gonna happen, and ain't life funny because fucking Matt tries to have his own independent career, but the only fucking time he's relevant is when Jeff is with him. So, you know what, Matt? Fuck you. God damn it.
I love how this turned into Matt Hardy.
He went to AEW to do his broken thing, which flopped harder than a fucking Denny's pancake on the fucking frying pan. And so then he went back to Big Money Matt, flop. Now the truth is the truth, Matt Hardy, which is also flopping. AEW is, the whole thing is a fucking flop. But fucking, like, every time he tries, like when Jeff's not with him, he tries to have these characters and gimmicks, and like he had lightning in a bottle with the broken thing the very first time he did it, but it's not gonna work anymore. I've talked about that to death. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore, but it's just Matt Hardy tries to do all this stuff to be independent and keep himself relevant, but the only time I shit about Matt Hardy, the only time wrestling promotions push Matt Hardy is when he's teaming with Jeff, and that is a fact. And I know that better than anybody else because of how big of a fucking Hardy's fan I am. So I know that very true and well. If that wasn't true, Matt Hardy would have been a world champion in WWE. If that wasn't true, if that was not true, you watch when Jeff goes to AEW. They're gonna book the Hardys to win the AEW tag titles. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. But it just sucks because Jeff has so much more left in the tank. He has said there's people he wants to wrestle and stuff he wants to do before he retires. They're not doing anything with him. And if they release him, that's going to suck because a lot of fans were waiting for 7 years for him to come back to WWE. They wanted him back in WWE so bad. And he's back, but they ain't using him. And if he gets released, people are going to be disappointed like 2009 all over again. And it's fucking, just give the man one last run and let him fucking goddamn retire. That's all I want. I'm sure that's all he wants. I'm pretty sure I remember Jeff saying that he wants to retire in WWE. And like when him and Matt came back, they said this is going to be our last run. But Matt was big capping about that because he went to AEW. But when he went to AEW, he claimed, I got a couple more years left in me, and I want to use it to the best of my ability. And, I really want to use my knowledge, and I want to give back to the wrestling business and blah, blah. Yeah, how'd that work out, Matt? How'd that work out? You're on fucking Dark. How'd that work out, Matt?
God.
How did that work out? I'm sure your wife's going to come at me on Twitter for saying that. But how'd that work out?
I'm surprised she didn't come at me.
I'm shocked as well. Fucking. But how'd that work out for you, Matt? How'd that work out for you? You were in WWE, and guess what? They put you in an important storyline with Edge and Randy Orton. Yeah, you got your ass whooped, but at least you weren't on Dark. Jesus fucking Christ. You bitched and moaned and did this whole... You don't understand how hard it is to be Matt Hardy fucking YouTube series until you got your release. Then you went to AEW because you're fucking goddamn butt buddies with the Young Bucks and fucking got in, and you thought you were going to do this broken thing and it was going to be exactly like 2016 and the fans were going to fucking suck your cock and buy your merch and you're going to be more popular than Jeff, but no. It didn't happen that way, and you're in a worse position now than you were in WWE. I would argue. At least when he was in WWE, people still gave a shit about him. Now he's in AEW. I don't hear nobody talking about Matt Hardy. You can hear a mouse pissing on cotton with how little people talk about Matt Hardy now. His is like a fucking flat line in the ER.
Oh my god.
That's Matt Hardy's career right now. And they've put Private Party with him, which makes no sense. It never made any sense. And Matt Hardy's just now they're giving him a rivalry with Christian, which Christian is another person that they're wasting. So good job, AEW. Great use of Christian.
Well, if we're talking about AEW, you want to just get them Double or Nothing?
Oh yeah, because you know what? I'm ready for you to go off because I
didn't even watch Double or Nothing, but from what Devon told me, I'm gonna go off. It's the main event, so why don't you talk about the rest of the show, and then I'll talk about the rest
of the show. So, I was forced to watch this against my own will by Tony. I wasn't planning on watching this show, but I figured, you know what? Tony wants to watch it, whatever, I'll check out Double or Nothing. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, I'll be honest. So it starts off, on the pre-show, it was Serena Deeb versus Rijo. It was a decent match. And Serena Deeb retained. That's all it was. It was a decent women's wrestling match.
Okay.
Then the main show starts off. Hold on. Excuse me. All right, so... Oh, fuck. Hold on, let me look up the card real quick.
I think the next was the Young Bucks match, remember?
Hold on, I need to see. Because it's either that or it was Adam Page and Brian Cage. I don't remember which one was first.
I don't know.
Hold on.
All I know. He was texting me throughout the whole thing, so I heard a lot about AEW. I didn't want to hear about
whether you liked it or not.
Yeah.
God damn, why would they put the card backwards on here? They put the main event first. Okay, so wait a minute. You know, fuck it. I'm just going to pick what match I want to talk about first because they got this out of order. So, The first match I remember seeing was Hangman Adam Page versus Brian Cage. I don't know why they were facing each other, but it was a good match. They're both decent wrestlers. They're pretty good. It was an okay match to start off, Double or Nothing. It was decent. Then we move on to the fucking garbage fire, the absolute garbage fire. And I might not make it back from this rant.
Oh, God.
Because the next match was what was it? Was it the tag team or was it? Yeah, okay, it was the Young Bucks versus Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. That's what the match was. I think it was for the AEW tag titles. I don't remember. So, I'm sitting there watching it with Tony. Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston come out through the crowd, and the fans are behind Moxley and Kingston. Whatever. Then the Young Bucks come out wearing some kind of weird-looking orange and white and blue attire. It looked trash. And they come out acting all heelish. And then Moxley, and of course Moxley has to start the match outside of the ring. They attack the Young Bucks, and then they brawl on the outside, and I'm like, okay. And then they finally get back in the ring, and it starts, and it's Jon Moxley and one of the young fucks. I don't remember which one it was. They both suck, but... So I'm thinking, okay, maybe this will be decent since, I don't know. I just was hoping it would be decent, right? So, wait, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
So, this match was one of the worst matches I've ever seen in my life. This match was so indie garbage. This match, for one, Eddie Kingston did not get tagged in this entire match.
Which is a shame, because he's actually good.
Number 2, Jon Moxley took every single hit in this match and kicked out at 1 every time. The Young Bucks hit 45 super kicks. I'm not even kidding. Jon Moxley, there's one spot, they did literally 12 super kicks to Jon Moxley, pinned him, kicked out at 1. And you telling me the Young Bucks didn't ruin the super kick? People tell me the Young Bucks didn't ruin the super kick. Really? 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 You're gonna hit a man with 12 super kicks and he kicks out at 1. You're telling me you didn't kill the move with your super kick party garbage? Is that what you're telling me? The disrespect in the Young Bucks. You know, let me finish talking about the match and I'll talk about them after.
Okay.
So Moxley takes a Canadian destroyer on the stage and gets dropped on his head on the floor, and there's all these flips and dives from the Young Bucks because that's all they know how to do. They can't actually wrestle, and yeah, the match was literally just super kick, super kick, super kick, double super kick, double super kick, super kick, super kick, dive, flip, dive, flip, dive, flip, Canadian destroyer, double team, Meltzer driver, super kick, super kick, super kick, super kick, and then Jon Moxley took every single one of those moves, kicked out at 1 from everything. And then the way the match ended is the Young Bucks did this new tag team move called the BTE trigger. Now, if you're curious what that stands for, it's being the elite trigger, because they had to shout out their fucking YouTube series in there. So they hit 3 BTE triggers on Moxley and pinned him 1, 2, 3. The Young Bucks retained the titles. Now, there was also a couple things. For some reason, the Young Bucks decided to take shots at WWE in this match, saying that Jon Moxley is nothing but a guy from that other company. And then they're like, oh, we can't say that, they're going to get mad. And then Nick Jackson was like, I don't give a shit. And then during the match, the Young Bucks, Nick Jackson picked up Jon Moxley for a powerbomb, and then Matt Jackson acting all cocky. He's not cocky and he's not tough. He does the ooh-ah like Roman Reigns, and then they do like the Shield fist bump thing. It's like, why are you taking shots at WWE? For what reason? For what reason? Are you still salty because they sent you a cease and desist because you stole the fucking Too Sweet? Is that why? Are you still salty about it because they called you a pissant company, which you are? Are you still salty about that? So, the Young Bucks retain, and I was sitting there red in the face because this is every single match that the Young Bucks do. Every match is the same, and there's people that defend these guys. They defend the Young Bucks to no end, and the Young Bucks, this is why I said the disrespect in the Young Bucks. The disrespect to sit there and call themselves the greatest team that has ever laced up a pair of boots and stepped into a ring. That's what they called themselves. The absolute disrespect. Oh, it's just them being a heel. No, they legitimately think that. They have said that outside of being the Young Bucks. They have actually said that. Mm-hmm. They are delusional as hell. They must be on the Tony Khan's Somas or Tony Schiavone's crack cocaine or something. I don't know. But they sat there and called themselves the greatest team that has ever laced up a pair of boots. The disrespect in the Young Bucks. They have the nerve to say that about themselves. So you're telling me the Young Bucks think that they're better than the Hardys, the Dudleys, Edge and Christian, DX, New Age Outlaws. Excuse me. Need to clear my throat. So you're telling me they're better than all those teams. They're better than the APA, Los Guerreros, Team Angle. They're telling me that they're better than Paul London and Brian Kendrick. You're telling me they're better than Eminem. You're telling me they're better than the New Day. You're telling me that they're better than the Brothers of Destruction. You're telling me they're better than the two-man power trip of Stone Cold and Triple H. You're telling me that they're better than the old school teams like the Four Horsemen and the Rockers and all. You're telling me the Young Bucks are better than all those teams. You're telling me the Young Bucks think that they're better than all of those teams. Is that? You're telling me they honestly think that they're better than teams like the British Bulldogs and the Road Warriors and fucking the Hart Foundation. And is this what I'm being told?
They're even saying that they're better than the Gangstas.
I just, like, fuck the Young Bucks. Fuck them. I can't stand them. I don't care about their personal lives. I'm not going to talk about their kids. I'm not going to talk about them personally. I don't care about them personally. I know they're fucking dumb idiots in real life, but I'm not going to talk about them personally. I'm talking about them as Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. They have to be two of the most blind people I've ever seen. Brandy Rhodes is an egomaniac. You're telling me that the Young Bucks, calling themselves the greatest team that has ever laced up a pair of boots and stepped into a wrestling ring, you're telling me that they're not egomaniacs? They are most certainly egomaniacs. They dick suck themselves so hard, it's ridiculous. Matter of fact, you know what? They're all egomaniacs. The Young Bucks are, because they think they're the greatest tag team ever. Kenny Omega's an egomaniac because he thinks he's the greatest wrestler in the history of professional wrestling. Fucking, Brandy Rhodes is certainly an egomaniac. Fucking Tony Khan is an egomaniac because he thinks AEW is the best wrestling company out there. You know what? Everybody in AEW is an egomaniac. Britt Baker's certainly an egomaniac, thinking she's a hardcore legend better than fucking Mick Foley. You know what? If she gets hit in the head as many times as Mick Foley, maybe she'll want a fucking all-women's brand too. But back to the Young Bucks. I can't stand the Young Bucks. They are by far, the worst tag team I have ever had the pleasure of watching. They cannot wrestle. They do the same stuff every single match, no matter who their opponents are. They could wrestle they could do what Kenny Omega did and wrestle blow-up dolls. That's what they could do. And they would still put on the exact same match. It doesn't matter. They could have a match with a fucking corpse from the graveyard, and it would be the same. God. Hitting Canadian destroyers and Meltzer drivers and super kicks and BTE triggers and outside dives and all that garbage. Because that's all the Young Bucks are. And it really grinds my gears because they say that the Hardys are the greatest tag team of all time. But then they call themselves the greatest. So I'm confused. I'm not saying the Hardys are the greatest of all time. They're my favorite of all time. But, it's just how does my most hated team take after my most favorite team? How is that worked out?
I don't know.
Because the Young Bucks are trying to be the Hardys so bad, they literally made up the move more bang for your buck, where they literally do a swanton bomb. They've had matches where they used a twist of fate. They fucking had rivalries with the Hardys on the Indies where they stole their moves. It's like, come on. Their attires look like how the Hardys looked back in Omega Wrestling way back in the day. Like, I cannot, you don't understand. Like, how Austin hates Kenny Omega, that is how I feel about the Young Bucks. I cannot stand the Young Bucks anymore. I used to like them. Back in Ring of Honor, I used to like them. But then they did the whole Bullet Club shit. They ruined the Bullet Club. Then they did Being the Elite, which was funny at first. Being the Elite was really cool at first. I was really into it. But it's trash now. It's cringe. It's garbage. The Young Bucks are garbage. Over the years, they've gotten more and more and more and more and more and more and more indie. And I can't stand it. I can't. I don't hate them personally. Yeah, they're making millions of dollars and whatever, but my problem is their fucking wrestling. I cannot stand it. That's what I have an issue with. And they act like they're the greatest thing in the fucking world, and they're the best wrestlers in the world. And they're nowhere close. They are nowhere close. How are you going to call yourself the greatest wrestler in the world, the greatest wrestlers in the world, the greatest tag team in the world, when your whole entire moveset is super kicks, Canadian destroyers, Meltzer drivers, and stealing other people's maneuvers? How are you the greatest wrestlers in the world? Fucking... Oh my god, dude. I was red in the face. I was so red in the face watching that match. Because it represents every Young Bucks match. It represents everything I dislike about indie wrestling. It pisses me off that people dick suck the Young Bucks and say they're one of the best teams. Like, freaking... Like, Tony even said that the Young Bucks are one of the best teams. How? They're not! They're not! Garbage! How do people not see that? It boggles my mind to no end how people get entertainment out of watching the Young Bucks wrestle. I used to, but I can't anymore. I can't. It doesn't matter who they face. I can't fucking watch the Young Bucks anymore. They are so bad. They are so bad at being baby faces. They are so bad. They are so bad at being a tag team. They are so bad at wrestling. They are so bad at everything. They are horrible at promos. Horrible at being executive vice presidents. Everything. Fucking pisses me off, man. God.
Well,
I'm so mad.
Do you want to talk about the rest of Double or Nothing until a little main event?
Sure, why not? Why not? Fuck the Young Bucks. They are the worst tag team in the history of wrestling. In the history of professional wrestling. I now understand why Jim Cornette hates them so much. Now I understand why. I didn't before, but now I see why Jim Cornette can't stand them. Fuck them. Anyway, moving on to the rest of the card. Oh my god. Okay, why is this nothing but ads? Okay, hold on. Okay, that match was for the tag titles. Oh my god. Okay, we had... I already talked about that match. You know, let's go to Cody Rhodes versus Anthony Ogogo. So, Anthony Ogogo was apparently a boxer or some shit. And this is his first wrestling match, and nobody gave a fuck about this match. It wasn't bad. It was decent. There was a couple botches, but it was a decent match. But the fans did not care. The fans were so quiet. Not a single audience member was standing up. Not a single audience member was clapping or cheering. It was dead silent during that match. Dead fucking silent. It was so fucking quiet. And, of course, Cody had to put himself over again because he can't ever let anybody else go over. You know, matter of fact, he's an egomaniac too. There, I said it. Anthony Ogogo lost. Oh, but he didn't lose to the Crossroads. No. You want to know what he lost to, Austin? A move that I've never seen Cody Rhodes do. Cody Rhodes beat him with a vertebreaker. When has Cody Rhodes ever done a vertebreaker? Never. And why would you end the match with that? So stupid. Anthony Ogogo's decent in the ring. He needs a lot of work. He shouldn't have been on a pay-per-view yet. And the funny thing is, they made T-shirts for this match, building it up like it was Mayweather and Logan Paul. This match was nowhere, and that boxing match was terrible, by the way. But I don't know if you want to talk about that today.
We can talk about that today later on.
Alright, well, yeah, so that match was okay, but the crowd was not into it at all. It was dead silent, so it was just an match. Then we had Miro versus Lance Archer for the TNT title. This was actually a pretty good match. This is what they need to be doing with Miro, making him look like a beast. But you can't care about somebody when you have them debut, they're wearing fucking Mickey Mouse pajamas and fucking playing video games with Kip Sabian. Now, I know Miro's not with Kip Sabian anymore, and I just have this feeling that they're going to bring Lana into AEW. They might as well they'll probably call her CJ Perry. Why don't they just call her Anal?
Oh my god.
That's her name spelled backwards, and I'm sure she likes Miro to do that.
Oh.
So fucking, I have a feeling they're going to bring Lana into AEW and put her with Miro. And my God, if they do Miro and CJ Perry versus Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford, but this match made Miro look like a beast. Lance Archer is great. They need to push Lance Archer. He can be the next big thing in the wrestling business. Lance Archer is a beast. He has talent. He puts on good matches. The way he wrestles reminds me of like 1997 Kane, especially the way he does the choke slams. He destroys people with choke slams. They need to push Lance Archer. Seriously.
I've been saying this since he debuted.
But they won't. They won't.
No, they won't.
They won't push him.
They haven't pushed him since he came. Like they gave him like a minor push, and then they had him lose to Cody. Then he got another push all out, but then he lost to Moxley. And he got a push here, and he lost to Miro. So
don't forget he was in the ladder match at Revolution. He lost there too.
Yep.
When he was dominating that match, by the way. But here's what they'll do. They ain't gonna push Lance Archer, but they'll bring CJ Perry into AEW, and then they're gonna do a fucking goddamn. I know what AEW's gonna do. They're gonna do Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford versus Miro and CJ Perry in a fucking TikTok dance-off match for the TNT title.
They probably would do it too. They probably would do it too.
That's what they're gonna book. I know that's what they're gonna book. So anyway, the match was pretty good. I want to see Miro serious like that and be a beast like that. That's how he needs to be booked. Hopefully they continue that, but I don't trust that they will do that. So next was another tag team match. I don't know why this was so late in the card. It was Sting and Darby Allin versus All Ego, Ethan Page, and Scorpio Sky, which they're a team now apparently for some odd reason. They broke up SCU. They're not going to do anything with Kazarian and Daniels now. So that's great. Another waste of talent, AEW. So they put Scorpio Sky. First of all, they have him win the Revolution ladder match. He doesn't beat Darby Allin, but then they give Miro the title. And then they take Scorpio from one tag team and stick him in another tag team. And they had Ethan Page debut in that ladder match. And all they do with him is just stick him in a tag team. Like, how does that make any sense?
It doesn't.
They don't look like a team at all. And for some reason, they have this feud with Sting and Darby Allin because AEW already doesn't have anything else for Sting or Darby Allin. You would think Darby would want a rematch for the TNT title, but no, let me team up with this 60-year-old washed-up WCW legend, and let's go against this team that's not even a team. They got a better spot on the card than the TNT title, so I mean I don't know, but this was a tag team match. It wasn't really nothing. It was better than the Young Bucks one because they actually wrestled, but
yeah.
At the end of the day, it was just a normal tag team, nothing special. Sting didn't wrestle that much in the match, and Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page lost. Sting got the win with the Scorpion Death Drop on, I think it was Scorpio Sky. So, yeah, they put Darby Allin and Sting over Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page, so now they're buried. They're not going to do nothing with them. So, great job, AEW. Great job. When you could have had Lance Archer win that ladder match, he could have beat the tar out of Darby Allin, and he could be the TNT champion right now. But no, you give it to Scorpio Sky, have him lose to Darby Allin, then you give it to Miro, who didn't do anything to get a title shot. Then you have Lance Archer lose to Miro. It makes zero fucking sense. But we move on to the second to last match, which was Britt Baker versus Sakarashida for the AEW Women's Championship. So this was a good match. Hikaru Shida is good. Britt Baker is getting better in the ring. This was a good match. It was better than the Serena Deeb Rijo match. Good technical match. Rebel played some sort of part in it. But in the end, Britt Baker won and is the new AEW Women's Champion. So congratulations to Britt Baker. Hopefully she's a good champion.
Well, my theory didn't work. I thought since she was the hardcore legend, they would try to, Adam Cole and her would try to make a hardcore baby like John Moxley and Renee Young, but my theory wasn't accurate.
Well, I've seen, since Tony made me watch Dark yesterday, I saw, guess who was on Dark, just to piss me off? Thunder Rosa was on Dark. And she did a promo calling out Britt Baker, saying she wants to fight Britt Baker. They're not going to give it Thunder Rosa the AEW Women's title for two reasons. One, because she still wrestles for NWA, she's not fully signed, so they're not going to give her the Women's title. And two, because they're not going to push Thunder Rosa. Ever. So, anyway, moving on to the main event. The main event, well, actually, sorry, the co-main event was Kenny Omega defending the AEW Championship against Orange Cassidy and Pac. Now, this match was the best match on the show. And you might be surprised in me saying that because it's Kenny Omega. This was legitimately the best match on the show. It was the most entertaining match. It was the most well-done match. It had the best technical wrestling of the show. So, Kenny Omega has 4 championships now. Did you know that, Austin?
No, I really didn't want to, honestly.
He has the TNA Championship. He has the Impact Championship. He has the AEW Championship, and he has the AAA Championship, which I did not know that he had that. I don't know how he won that, but... And Kenny Omega posted saying that the IWGP title has his name on it, so he wants that title too. So, there you go. But...
Why do all the specimens have to get, that many titles? Because I remember Austin Aries got freaking 20 titles too.
So, this, like I said, this was the best match on the show. This was actually a watchable Kenny Omega match. He wasn't overusing the V-triggers. The only part that it got bad was where he was hitting Pac with every single championship. That's where it got bad. But for the most part, it was a great match. Orange Cassidy surprised me in this match because he actually was wrestling. He was still doing his gimmick, but he was actually wrestling and actually putting on a good match. And he actually was trying to be legit in the ring, and he actually showed some talent, which I want to see more of that from Orange Cassidy. Because him showcasing that shows me that Orange Cassidy is actually a good wrestler. He just doesn't show it because of his fucking stupid-ass gimmick that he has. But Pac was by far the best wrestler in this match. Pac held down most of this match. Pac should have won the AEW title, but whatever. They're keeping it on Kenny because why not? So there's a lot of good spots, a lot of high-flying spots, a lot of technical action. It was all around very good. A lot of hard hits. There was a lot of false finishes, but they were well executed. They weren't like, oh, finisher, false finish, like every 5 seconds. It was like someone would hit for example, Pac hit the Black Arrow on Kenny Omega, and then Orange Cassidy threw Pac out of the ring and covered Kenny, and everybody thought Orange Cassidy was going to win, but Kenny kicked out. That was a good false finish. And then they had another one where, I think Kenny hit something on Orange Cassidy, and then Pac threw Kenny out of the ring. And, there was a lot of good triple threat action. And this is how AEW needs to be booking their triple threats if they do triple threats. This was a very, very well done triple threat. The only bad part was Kenny Omega being an egomaniac, hitting Pac with every single championship, and then just winning. and it was kind of, the ending felt kind of flat and anticlimactic, and everybody was booing him out of the building. And also Don Callis got involved, and the crowd was chanting "Fuck Don Callis" and "Fuck you, Don" and shit.
Yeah, people are finally starting to understand why Kenny Omega sucks.
Oh, there was one funny part that Don Callis did in this match, because I think Pac hit something on Kenny Omega. No, this is what it was. Orange Cassidy hit the orange punch on Kenny Omega, and all you hear on commentary is Don Callis. He goes, "Shit," and he just like throws his headset down super hard. That was funny, but other than that, it was a great match. Besides the ending was trash, but Kenny Omega retained the AEW title, and so yeah, there's that. But you'll get to Rant in a second, Austin, because now we're going to talk about the main event of this pay-per-view. The main event of Double or Nothing, the special attraction, the Stadium Stampede match, the Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle.
1 second, I gotta do something real quick. You might hear it.
Did you throw something?
Yep.
What did you throw?
My bottle that I was drinking out of earlier. So.
Oh my god.
Pinnacle versus the Inner Circle.
Mm-hmm.
Last time MJF went against, or the Pinnacle went against the Inner Circle lost, and they were pushing MJF.
Mm-hmm.
So I had hopes and dreams, because I saw the card on Twitter. I didn't watch the show, but I saw the card on Twitter, and I'm like, okay, maybe they'll actually do something right for once in their fucking lives. But no. As Devon was telling me that they made MJF look like a fucking jobber.
Yep.
And
Grade A
Inner
jobber.
Circle won.
Yep. I'm trying to go back to see everything beat for beat that I told you happened. Okay, hold on. Let me go to the beginning of it. Okay. Oh, also, before we talk about this, I forgot to mention one thing. Actually, there's two things I forgot to talk about. So they did the Casino Battle Royal. I forgot to talk about that, where Jungle Boy won. So Jungle Boy will be facing Kenny Omega for the AEW title. I think it's actually next week he's facing him. So there's that. Also, the Joker card in the Casino Battle Royal was Leo Rush. Leo Rush debuted in AEW.
I don't give a fuck. I want to get to my rant, so please. Mark Henry debuted. That's all that happened. Fucking
Mark Henry
let me get to my
debuted.
rant.
He's going to be an analyst and a coach for AEW's new show, Rampage.
I don't give a fuck.
That Austin's going to be watching.
No, I don't fucking not. No. No.
Okay, so here's the beginning of the Stadium Stampede.
No, just let me go. Let me go. I don't even want to hear the beginning. I'm just gonna go. The fact that I don't even have to watch it no more, but they still have not learned.
Oh my god.
They have still not learned that MJF is one of their stars. The fact that they keep pushing the freaking Michelin Man known as Chris Jericho.
Is this going to be your Chris Jericho tirade?
No, that will be later in another video. But the fact that they keep pushing, him over people like that are actual stars, like Lance Archer, MJF, Eddie Kingston, people that matter in that company. Not the WWE rejects that they put. 40% of their company is WWE people. 40%.
Oh my god.
And they do nothing with them.
That's true.
They do absolutely nothing with them. They just sign them because they think that it's going to get a ratings draw. But he don't put them on the shows, so they don't get the ratings draw. And now they're going up against SmackDown, and SmackDown's kicking their ass.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
How? How? In the... Why make MJF to look like a jobber after all this time? To be beaten senseless by a 50-year-old man.
Oh my God.
That looks like he ate a pack of donuts this morning before he got in the ring. He looks like he bought the freaking Krispy Kreme and ate the entire stock.
Oh no.
But yet, he wins. He wins.
Yep.
What did MJF do to deserve that? He is there until 2024, and I can only hope that they won't destroy him even more.
I don't know what they're gonna do. They made him look like a joke. Like, they made him look like somebody that would wrestle on main event.
Dude, the thing is, they were doing so good last year. They had a streak, man. They had a streak. They had him undefeated in singles competition until he faced Moxley, another WWE reject. Every time he goes against a WWE reject, he loses.
Maybe he'll lose to Matt Hardy next. I don't know.
If he loses to Matt Hardy, I'm fucking done. I'm blocking everybody that goes to AEW. No. I will block everybody that's associated with AEW. I will...
I thought you did that already.
No, I have not. I've only blocked the toxic ones.
Oh my goodness.
I will block everybody that's associated with AEW. I will never talk about AEW again. And I will never look at it on my TV screen again. If that happens.
Oh, good.
But yet, they... No, not yet. But yet, there's no way, because the only way I said I would watch another AEW pay-per-view again is if MJF won that title. There's no way they're giving him the title now. And it's sad, because he is their only homegrown star, besides Lance Archer and Eddie Kingston, that could actually be a competent champion. But they keep on fucking themselves. I don't care about the Fozzy, rockstar, piece of garbage, long-haired, fucking Michelin man that they have. He's washed up.
Oh my God.
He's so washed up, you could wring him out with a and water would fall out. Oh my God. Why? 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 My
This
head.
match was so bad. It was so bad.
Why? Why? Just why? Why do that to FTR, MJF, freaking goddamn Tully Blanchard? They had Tully Blanchard in a freaking tank top.
Oh my God.
Sean Spears took the pin, so it's his goddamn fault.
They're never gonna do nothing with Sean Spears. Never. So
I'm not done. I'm not done. I am not done.
I just wanted to say the funny thing was, like, I told you this match was happening, and the first thing you said was, they better not make MJF look like shit. That's the first thing you said.
As soon as I said that, I immediately regretted it. Because all they do is make competent talent look like shit. That's all they do. That's their number one thing that they always love to do. All the talented ones get destroyed and buried, but yet people still are coming to that company. Why?
Andrade.
Yeah, Andrade. You know what? Perfect topic. Why?
Oh my
There's no way Andrade is doing anything. There is no way.
He's not beating Kenny Omega.
He's getting buried. He is gonna get buried. If he wants to take a paycheck to get buried, so be it. Everybody else is doing it, so he might as well freaking do it. Why can't I have one thing? There's one, like, the one star that I want them to make, and they can't do it. Because they physically can't. Because Tony Khan has had multiple doses of somas, crack, cocaine, fucking heroin. At this point, it's probably heroin. He's getting all goddamn Adam Page's and goddamn Finn Balor's alcohol supply. Why? Why?
Yeah, Tony Khan pulled some stone cold shit. He said MJF's making that much money. Matter of fact, cross MJF's name out. That is now the Soma budget.
No, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. You know what? Have Brandy Rhodes beat Kenny Omega for the championship. How about that? How about that?
It almost made me spit.
You're paying her from $1 million to $5 million, so it better be worth it. It better be.
Oh my god.
I have had this built up for days. Days.
I just imagine the veins are popping out of your neck right now. Oh my goodness.
I never want to hear about another goddamn AEW pay-per-view unless the only thing I want to hear is if MJF is being treated like shit or if he's getting pushed. That's the only thing I want to hear. I don't want to hear about Kenny Omega. I don't want to hear about freaking Orange Cassidy. I don't want to hear about goddamn the Young Bucks. I don't want to hear about their god-awful women's division. I just want to hear if they're still making stupid decisions. Because there's no point. There's no point. Because they always do.
Well, are you still going?
I'm still going.
I just want to read what happens in this match because it's
1 second.
When
1 second.
I read it.
1 second.
We'll talk about Stranger Things.
Oh yeah, I know we still gotta talk about Stranger Things, but I'm still going.
Are you recording already?
Yeah. The fact that they do this the most meaningless, pointless shit, most pointless shit, and they ruin talent is ungodly and it's dumb. It's just dumb. Next they're gonna sign Lana and freaking Braun Strowman to $10 million contracts because you know what? It doesn't matter.
Lana can be on AEW heels playing Jackbox games.
That's what you'd be. Why is Lisa Bates employed? Fire her. All she's done is be on AEW heels. That's a spot that could be giving more money to MJF because he's an actual star. I'm freaking shaking because I'm so goddamn mad right now. I want to punch Tony Khan square in the jaw. Multiple times.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ, dude.
You thought you were mad about all that happened to you? I don't care if it was multiple things that happened on the vacation. This is what topped my vacation. I've had to think about this. I've had to think about this for a solid week.
So
a week. A week. That they keep doing this. Why? What's the point? Yeah, I don't care what Tony says. I'm gonna name drop him. I don't care what you say, Tony. AEW is not a good company. They have a shit women's division. They have a shit women's division.
Passion.
You think they have a shit women's division. They don't push the right stars. They keep pushing their vice presidents. It's the worst company I've ever seen. Worse than Impact.
It's officially worse than Impact.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I hope it burns to the ground. I hope it ends up like WCW. I hope Tony Khan goes bankrupt.
Oh. Maybe it would be better if they hire Vince Russo to do the booking.
No, it will not be better. I hope TNT and TBS both shut down because of the fucking company.
Oh, but don't forget they have the reality show coming out, and they're having a new brand called Rampage. Austin, don't forget about that.
I hope it all gets canceled. I hope another speaking out movement happens, and it's all AEW wrestlers, except for the competent ones like MJF. I hope Kenny Omega gets allegations. I hope Don Callis gets more allegations. I hope Tony Khan gets allegations.
Oh my god.
I am done. I am done with this company. I cannot stand it. I cannot talk about it no more. It is the most toxic company I have ever seen. Even Marie would have been a better signing than Kenny Omega. Oh
no.
Nia Jax would have been a better signing than the Young Bucks.
Oh no.
Lana would have been a better signing than half of their roster.
Oh my god.
Braun Strowman would have been a better he would have been a better booker than Tony Khan.
Oh my fucking god.
And you know what? I'm starting to believe Vince Russo a little bit. Maybe it is a conspiracy between AEW and WWE. Maybe they're working together. Maybe WWE's just releasing talent just so they get signed by AEW. What does it matter? What does it even matter? I don't fucking care about Vince Russo.
Madness Part 3.
It's the fact that Tony Khan and those fucking elite are so delusional in how they book that company. They all got egos. They're all delusional. I can't stand it. Fuck AEW. I'm done.
Alright.
Talk about something.
Well, I wanted to tell everybody what exactly happened in the Stadium Stampede. So I messaged Austin everything that was going on. Austin was just getting progressively more angry when I kept going, which made me feel better. So it started off, and a limo pulled up to the field, and Austin, are you there?
You're gonna fucking wait a minute. You got that? You're gonna fucking wait a minute.
What do you mean I'm gonna wait a minute?
Oh. You know what? I'm glad you laughed in my pain. I'm fucking glad. Cause you know what? Everybody laughs in my pain. AEW laughs happily.
So
fuck that company.
It started off, a limo pulls up in the field, and MJF gets out of the limo, and he's wearing, I wrote it down here, he's wearing some sparkly skinny jeans, and he had like plaid knee pads. He had a horrible attire. he had like bedazzled skinny jeans on. It's like so then he's standing there waiting for the inner circle, and then Fozzy music starts playing, and the entire inner circle, the entire inner circle, zip lines down from the top of the stadium on some SWAT team Owen Hart stuff, and they come down.
I wish they pulled their best impression of Owen Hart, actually.
And keep in mind, just to make Austin more mad, everybody in this match was wearing skinny jeans, even Chris Jericho.
Like he needs to wear skinny jeans, the Michelin Man.
And so they come down and they start chasing after MJF, and then the Pinnacle, which is Tully, Sean Spears.
We know who the Pinnacle is. It was their only competent group that they had out of the 50 million that they made.
And they came in on a golf cart, and they got off the golf cart, and they all started brawling, and they made MJF run away like a bitch, and so then Chris Jericho, like eventually, like all of them split up into their own fights, and then Chris Jericho is there. MJF thinks that they're all gone, and he's just gonna chill while they all fight, and then Chris Jericho finds them. And he starts chasing after MJF. And then the next thing we see is they messed up a spot where Jericho was supposed to put MJF's head in a garbage can, but he didn't put his head in the garbage can, so MJF put his own head in the garbage can.
Because he was told to. Because Tony Khan is the worst booker I have ever seen.
Oh my god,
dude! So, I wish Tony Khan would get his head put through the freaking Jeritron. If we're talking about Jericho.
So then Chris Jericho beat the absolute shit out of MJF. He was throwing him over tables, hitting him with the most random objects. He fucking was hitting him with food, throwing him into pop machines, hitting him with trash cans, dumping trash on him. He was kicking his ass.
Keep going. Keep going. You're just fueling the fire.
And then they got into this one room, and Chris Jericho threw a football at MJF's nuts. And then
it's funny because Jericho doesn't have any.
He broke a laptop over MJF's back, and then he just kept beating the tar out of him. And then they transitioned to Jake Hager and Wardlow, and they were brawling in the back area. And they hit the most fakest thing. Freaking, I'm pretty sure it was Wardlow that speared Jake Hager. And so what happened was he speared Jake Hager through a wall, but the wall was literally paper. You could hear it tear, and it was just thin paper. It was so fake.
That's what the company is, a paper company.
Oh my god. So then they went from that, after Jake Hager got speared, to it was... Wait, hold on. Hold on. Let me make sure I didn't miss this part. Okay, so in the Wardlow Jake Hager segment, they were also fighting. They were fighting in a freezer with ice cream, and they also fought in like a dairy freezer with like milk and stuff. And it was so stupid. And then after the spirit transitioned to Sean Spears was sitting in a room with purple lighting, and it's just a room full of chairs. And then Sammy Guevara walks in, and they start brawling, and they are just throwing chairs at each other, hitting each other with chairs. And then Sean Spears starts beating up Sammy Guevara, but Sammy Guevara keeps evading his attacks. And then they get to one part where, of course, fucking Sean Spears pulls out handcuffs, and he handcuffs Sammy Guevara to a pole. But his dumbass didn't realize that on the pallet right next to Sammy Guevara, there's a pair of bolt cutters to cut the handcuffs. So Sean Spears walks away to go try to help somebody else. And so then oh my god, this is probably almost the worst part. So it transitions to a nightclub, and FTR and Santana and Ortiz are sitting at a table at the bar, and Tully Blanchard is like they were playing a drinking game or something where they were like drinking alcohol, and then in the background there's like a club DJ, and the DJ is Conan. He made an appearance, and Conan is the DJ.
Fuck Conan.
Oh my god. So then they were like eventually they got in a fight, and they were like breaking beer bottles over each other and shit. And then they went back to Jericho and MJF, and they were in the Jaguars like offices at the stadium. And Chris Jericho hit MJF with the Jaguars coach cardboard standee, and MJF sold it. Oh, and then Chris Jericho, like, MJF hit one move in this match. Chris Jericho beat the ever-living shit out of MJF. He made him look like a jobber. So then they go into the big oval office with the big table, and Jericho takes a piece of paper and staples it to MJF's forehead, and it's like a fucking comedy sign that says "thank you." And MJF's just sitting there selling it, and he's bleeding, and then MJF grabbed a hammer, but Jericho countered it, and he hit MJF with another trash can. And then Jericho started hitting MJF with a baseball bat. And every time I said something, Austin just says, "God damn it, motherfucker. Fuck me sideways, son of a bitch. Why the fuck?" That's all your responses. And then they got on top of the table, and MJF hit a pile driver on Chris Jericho, which Chris Jericho no-sold, by the way. And then Jericho grabbed MJF and he put him through a glass door. Like, he smashed his head through a glass door, and MJF really started bleeding. So then it cuts to Shawn Spears walking down a hallway, and he's calling out for Tully. And then he hears like motorcycles, and then these random people that I've never seen in AEW before come in on fucking Harley Davidsons. And according to the commentators, I wrote this down here, they were called the Inner Circle Motorcycle Club. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. So then they chased after Shawn Spears, and then MJF and Chris Jericho, well, Chris Jericho pretty much dragged MJF all the way into the actual arena, and then they were fighting through the crowd, and Jericho lifted him up and crotched him on a middle bar in the crowd, humiliating MJF. And then Jericho hit him with another trash can, and then MJF's last embarrassing moment of the match is Chris Jericho grabbed him, picked him up, and powerbombed him through a wooden box. And that was the last of MJF in this match. So then Sammy Guevara was chasing Shawn Spears with a golf cart, and then he hit Shawn Spears with the golf cart. Then Sammy drags Shawn Spears back into the arena and into the ring, and then they're going back and forth, and then Shawn Spears ends up getting his head stomped into a chair in the corner. Sammy hits a 630.
Did he look like he was having a seizure? Did he look like he was having a seizure, like he always does when he does a 630? Now, keep in mind, I'm going to say a little bit more. We got Chris Jericho, what the fuck ever his name is. I don't even care. I don't care. Because you know what? He hails from Dunkin' Donuts, and he buried MJF.
Oh my god.
Keep in mind, they're in a stadium, a football stadium. Remember that. They're in a football stadium, and remember back when AEW started? Sports-based presentation? This isn't sports-based! It's SNL!
Oh my god.
I can't wait for Elon Musk to come in with a goddamn Wario suit and freaking face Chris Jericho in a Dunkin' Donuts match! Can't wait!
Oh my god. Yeah, so that was how the Stadium Stampede ended. It ended with all the Inner Circles standing in the ring, raising each other's hands, as Fozzy played, and they were all acting like they were rocking out like they were rock
again. Fuck Fozzy.
And that was how Double or Nothing went off the air.
Go back to Sturgis. Go back to Sturgis, Jericho. Go back to Sturgis.
Oh my god.
I need you to talk about something before I lose it. I'm gonna lose it.
All right, so that was Double or Nothing. We can finally end this topic. What's next that I wanted to talk about, or do you want to do Stranger Things?
Just do Stranger Things. Just do Stranger Things.
Okay.
Man.